Welcome to the most trusted channel, the Old Coin Worth. We guide collectors and the coin lover. The rare coin that I will show you stand as incredible treasures of history, carrying hidden value that can instantly transform an ordinary collector into a millionaire.
Many people throw these coins away without knowing their true value. You might have a treasure sitting in your pocket. Many people have these coins at home and don't even know their true worth. So make sure to watch till end to see if you have the rare one. Discover the extraordinary world of numismatic treasures as we unveil the rarest, most valuable, and truly unique 1-cent coins ever sought by collectors. The elusive 1976D Lincoln cent, the stunning 1956D wheat penny, and the highly desired 2009 formative years cent. These small copper coins hold massive value and the power to turn an ordinary collector into a future millionaire. Discover the unbelievable, the rarest, most valuable, and truly unique 1876D 1-cent coin, a legendary piece that every coin collector dreams of finding. This extraordinary cent, known for its extreme scarcity, stunning old copper beauty, and powerful historical value, has become one of the most coveted treasures in numismatics. With only a handful of authentic examples known, the 1876D penny can sell for massive amounts at auctions, turning lucky discoverers into instant millionaires. From its rare minting origin to its exceptional design details and jaw-dropping market value, this coin continues to dominate collector interest worldwide. If you want a coin that shocks viewers, sparks curiosity, and delivers huge viral potential, the 1876D 1-cent is the ultimate highlight. Rare, mysterious, valuable, and guaranteed to capture the attention of every viewer on YouTube. The 1-cent 1976 coin, often searched by collectors for hidden varieties and unexpected minting anomalies, stands as one of the most intriguing Lincoln Memorial pennies of the mid-1970s, and understanding its full background, production details, metal composition, collectible traits, grading factors, and rare errors requires a deep look at its entire numismatic story, beginning with the fact that the 1976 penny was struck at two primary mints, Philadelphia, no mint mark, and Denver, D, with a combined mintage in the billions, making regular circulation examples extremely common. Yet the true value and excitement come from unique characteristics like off-center strikes, double die obverse varieties showing slight but visible doubling on In God We Trust or Liberty, die cracks forming raised lines near Lincoln's portrait or around the date, and dramatic misaligned dies where the obverse or reverse appears shifted, all of which can turn a common penny into a premium collectible, especially if preserved in high grade. The coin continues the iconic Victor David Brenner design featuring Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse with smooth mid-1970s engraving details that can show wear rapidly in circulation, while the reverse displays the sharp columns of the Lincoln Memorial designed by Frank Gasparo, and collectors carefully examine the steps, column lines, central statue, and letter details to assess strike quality. Since weak strikes or heavily deteriorated dies can lower desirability, whereas crisp, full strikes attract attention. The 1976 cent is made from 95% copper and 5% zinc, resulting in a heavier feel than post-1982 zinc cents, and because of the copper content, many circulated examples are now worth slightly more than face value simply in metal value when copper prices rise, though melting US cents remains illegal. So the value comes only from numismatic interest. Condition plays a massive role, as mint state examples graded MS65 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can bring respectable prices due to the scarcity of flawless surfaces, clean fields, original luster, and untouched red coloration, since most surviving examples have turned brown from decades of oxidation, and collectors pay far more for RD red over RB red brown or BN brown, making fully red 1976 pennies especially valuable. Error collectors hunt vigorously for dramatic off-center strikes up to 50% missing, broad strikes lacking the raised rim, clipped planchettes where a crescent-shaped portion is missing, die caps forming distorted dome-shaped coins, and transitional planchette errors where the coin was accidentally struck on a foreign or incorrect metal blank, all extremely rare but capable of reaching significant prices in auctions. In addition, machine doubling, although common, is sharply distinguished from true hub doubling and usually carries little value, so collectors must study diagnostics carefully. The year 1976 is also notable for U.S. bicentennial celebrations, and although the penny did not receive a special design like the quarter, half dollar, and dollar, many people preserve 1976 coins as part of bicentennial sets, increasing their sentimental and collectible interest. Market demand varies, with typical circulated examples worth face value, but high-end or rare error versions commanding strong premiums, especially when authenticated. Keeping this coin properly stored is important. Using acid-free holders, dry environments, and minimal handling to prevent spotting, fingerprint oils, and color changes that degrade its grade. Overall, the 1-cent 1976 coin remains fascinating for both beginners and seasoned collectors because it demonstrates how even a common year can harbor hidden rarities, dramatic minting imperfections, and high-grade survivors that stand out in the world of small-denomination numismatics, making this humble copper cent piece worth studying closely as collectors continue discovering new varieties, analyzing die states, tracing minting anomalies, and appreciating the historical continuity of the long-running Lincoln cent series in a single coin that reflects American history, minting evolution, and the enduring thrill of the hunt, all within a year that sits between transition, celebration, and mass production yet still holds the potential to surprise those who examine every detail with patience, care, and numismatic curiosity. Unique 1-cent coin 1956D is one of the most fascinating Lincoln pennies ever studied by collectors, and its story becomes even more exciting when explored in a long, detailed, continuous paragraph that can attract every viewer on YouTube, because the 1956D penny, although mass-produced in the millions, hides within its mintage some extraordinary error varieties, dramatic minting imperfections, and ultra-rare high-grade survivors that have shocked the numismatic world with enormous auction prices, especially the famous 1956 DDDO varieties, the bold RPM repunch mintmark errors where the D was punched more than once creating a doubled or even tripled mintmark effect, and the highly sought-after off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchettes, die caps, and fully separated die cracks that stretch across Lincoln's portrait like lightning, each transforming an ordinary cent into a rarity worth hundreds, thousands, or sometimes tens of thousands of dollars depending on its severity and grade, and collectors constantly search for strong doubling on Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date, as even minor doubling can increase value dramatically, while dramatic doubling can push the coin into record-breaking price ranges. The 1956 penny, struck at the Denver Mint, features the classic Victor David Brenner obverse with Lincoln's detailed profile and the Frank Gasparro reverse showing the wheat years that defined the wheat penny era from 1909 to 1958, making this coin one of the final wheat pennies ever minted, which increases its historical and collectible appeal because collectors love late series coins with potential errors. The composition consists of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it a rich red-brown shine when preserved and a deep chocolate tone when aged, and collectors pay premium prices for perfectly preserved red road examples, especially those graded Mississippi 66, Mississippi 67, or the extremely rare MS 68, because the higher the grade, the rarer the coin becomes, with only a tiny handful of flawless gems surviving after decades of circulation and wear. While the regular 1956 penny may seem common, the rarest versions come from minting accidents, die deterioration states, repunch mint marks, doubled dies, rotated dies, and transitional errors that escape the mint unnoticed, making every surviving piece a potential treasure since some examples have sold for jaw-dropping amounts due to their uniqueness and visual impact, especially coins showing bold RPMs where the mintmark appears doubled far enough that even a beginner can see it with the naked eye. attracting massive interest in online auctions and numismatic communities. For YouTube audiences, the stunning part of the story is how a small copper coin worth 1 cent can transform into a life-changing discovery if someone finds the right error. Because many viewers love seeing before and after comparisons, high-resolution macro shots of doubling, dramatic die breaks looking like raised rivers, and deep-toned copper surfaces glowing under proper lighting, all of which captivate attention instantly. The market demand for rare 1956D errors grows every year as more collectors and online treasure hunters search through old jars, inherited boxes, and thrift store change lots hoping to discover one of these rare anomalies, and the most extreme errors, like 50% off center strikes with the full date visible, double-struck pieces where Lincoln appears twice, and die caps that form cone-shaped coins, can reach prices that astonish new collectors and create viral moments on social media. What makes the 1956D penny especially attractive for YouTube content is its mix of commonness and rarity. Billions were produced, but only a few extraordinary error pieces survived, giving the story a magical combination of relatability and mystery, appealing to viewers who love the idea that they, too, might find a valuable coin hiding in their pocket change. The coin also holds deep historical value as it was minted during a post-war era of economic growth, representing the power of the classic wheat penny design and the craftsmanship of mid-century U.S. minting. And this historical charm adds another layer of emotional and educational appeal that keeps audiences watching. Collectors also examine die polishing lines, planchet imperfections, luster quality, and strike sharpness across Lincoln's hair, bow tie, and coat edges, because strong details mean the coin was produced early in the die's life, making it far more desirable. Rare varieties like RPM 001, RPM 002, and the 1956 DDDO have become legendary, with professional graders confirming their authenticity and boosting their values to extraordinary heights. And showcasing these varieties visually on YouTube instantly grabs attention due to their striking mintmark distortions and crisp doubling. Because YouTube viewers love dramatic, surprising transformations, the 1956D penny becomes the perfect centerpiece for videos about rare coin discoveries, hidden treasures, millionaire-making finds, and shocking valuations, especially when combined with strong narration that explains how a tiny minting mistake over half a century ago can turn a common coin into an ultra-rare collectible. In conclusion, the rarest and most valuable 1956D 1-cent coins are powerful symbols of numismatic excitement, historical beauty, minting mystery, and collector passion, and telling their story in a deep, continuous, richly detailed paragraph creates the perfect YouTube attracting content that fascinates viewers, holds their attention, and inspires them to check every coin they own in hopes of discovering the next great wheat penny treasure. The 1-cent coin 2009 formative years is one of the most fascinating pieces in modern U.S. coinage history. Minted as part of the special 4-design Lincoln Bicentennial series that celebrated the 200th birth anniversary of Abraham Lincoln and the 100th anniversary of the Lincoln Cent, and the formative years reverse specifically honors young Abraham Lincoln's early life in Indiana from 1816 to 1830, showing him reading a book while taking a break from log-splitting work, symbolizing his hunger for knowledge, humble beginnings, and the intellectual curiosity that shaped his leadership. And collectors worldwide admire this design for its storytelling value, historical depth, and artistic representation created by designer Richard Masters and sculptor Jim Licoretz, with the obverse still featuring Victor D. Brenner's classic 1909 Lincoln portrait. The coin was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco in both circulation and proof formats, and while billions were struck, certain varieties and errors can make some examples extremely sought after and surprisingly valuable, such as the famous 2009 formative years double die varieties, particularly the ones with doubling on Lincoln's hands, book, or fingers, like the FS801, FS802, FS803, FS804, and other minor hub doubling types. all of which can bring strong premiums depending on grade and clarity, and passionate collectors constantly search penny rolls hoping to pull one of these major double-die gems. High-grade versions in MS67 or MS68 become even more desirable because most of these pennies were handled roughly, resulting in contact marks, weak strikes, or loss of original mint luster. Therefore, certified high-grade examples by PCGS or NGC often sell for multiples of their face value, and proofs from the San Francisco Mint, especially with deep cameo surfaces, are treasured for their mirror-like fields and razor-sharp details. The coin also carries huge interest internationally because it marks a turning point in U.S. mint history when the nation honored Lincoln's journey from woodcutter boy to self-taught scholar to future president, making the 2009 formative years sent not just a small copper-coated zinc coin but a miniature historical document reflecting America's admiration for Lincoln's legacy, and collectors also appreciate the context of the 2009 designs. Birthplace in Kentucky, formative years in Indiana, professional life in Illinois, and presidency in Washington, D.C., with many seeing the formative years design as the most emotionally inspiring because of its depiction of young Lincoln's dedication to learning despite hardship. Additionally, the 2009 pennies were produced during the year of the economic crisis, so many Americans saved them unknowingly, giving these coins a nostalgic link to an important period of modern history, and error enthusiasts chase off center strikes, clipped planchettes, die cracks, die breaks, gas bubbles on the zinc core, and struck through debris errors, some of which can raise the price into much higher ranges depending on severity and eye appeal. The coin's composition, like other modern cents, is 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating, weighs 2.5 grams, measures 19.05 millimeters, and has a plain edge, but what truly sets it apart is its storytelling power and its ability to connect collectors with the humble boyhood of Abraham Lincoln, making many feel that they hold a piece of American heritage in their hands. YouTubers, coin hunters, and history lovers often feature this coin because of its enormous viewer appeal, its beautiful reverse artwork, and the hope that one lucky find, especially one of the listed double dies, could turn an ordinary penny into a highly valuable treasure, and this continuous fascination ensures that the 1 cent 2009 formative years remains a timeless favorite among new collectors, experienced numismatists, and online coin communities who treasure it for its rarity potential, sentimental value, strong design identity, and its role in one of the most beloved commemorative coin programs ever released by the U.S. Mint, making it a must-have coin that continues to grow in popularity year after year as more people discover the stories, varieties, and hidden value locked inside this iconic 2009 penny.